You have to have honor. Oh. No problem. Sorry, hopefully that works correctly.
I guess there's a couple of them at one today. I think it's the surplus, you know, the dance of the limbs.
Oh, wow.
I don't do that. Thank God. I did. We worked in the district. We both worked. Yeah, you worked. Yeah. I did 18. I think I think it was 23. Yeah.
So what's it? It's something where they can just be placed at your site. Oh no! Like that's such an alert. I want to have one in Spanish.
I designed.
No, I know. I'm like, oh, that's mine.
Didn't you see the sign?
Yeah. I have a teacher who's on a leave, and she's like, I know I'm not. Hold it.
That's all right. I got you. You got it. So we're gonna clip it right here on here, and then we'll make that. I'm trying to make it put it over there, and now it's faced that way.
Yes. It's not exactly directional, so.
All right.
You got it. Your leash is on there.
And then I get my backup.
You can't do white balance on me.
3 teachers.
Get a white shirt on.
I'm gonna hit live here, so
Kind of. Are we ready?
Did you get the memo about the colors?
That's me.
Oh, no offense, but I always wear my Republican red.
Oh! This is why you went up.
Pastor Ivy. Oh, man.
I couldn't find a school or anything.
Oh, shit.
Okay, that's all right. I'll just peek over it.
can you see? You see it, Chuck? Can you see? Should I put it closer? You tell me when to go. Gia?
Yes.
It's Gia Maraccini.
Yes.
So please come here. Ladies right here. One next to each other. Behind her.
Do you
want me to hold your stuff? Is this your remarks?
No, I mean, they were talking
Right in the back.
Like, the good news is they can edit us out. This isn't live.
Start. You are live on my recorder. That's okay.
She's my boss.
No, those are sunglasses.
I can hit it.
I need my reading
I don't think so. I think she said we can come now.
glasses. Pete's sake.
I'm worried about that too. I have to work my break.
Do you want me to hold? I can put this up here.
No, just because I have to. Yeah, I can't even.
You have to look.
Yeah, you know. I'll make it big.
But they turn dark.
Tell me when, Valeria. We're good. Do you want me to hit record? You better, just in case I mess it up.
Heck is my glasses?
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me here today. I've spent my life devoted to children and their families in Nevada's public education system in Clark County School District and public charter schools. For years now, over 20,000 students, enough to fill the MGM Grand Arena, have been sitting in traditional schools rated 1 and 2 stars, failing our students year after year after year, all while Nevada's lawmakers and district leaders watch our traditional education system fail these children, our most vulnerable population. This week, I proposed an important piece of legislation that will help provide more assistance to the state's most disadvantaged communities, as well as help incentivize high-quality charter schools to open in areas where students need options most, and the only option is a one-star school. SB 333, it's easy to remember, will provide facility funding for Title I public charter schools, serving students who are from low-income households. Currently, public charter schools receive $0, as they do not have access to facility funds generated by local property tax. The funding disparity amounts to about $1,200 per student, more that the district gets than a public charter school student. That inequity does not sit right with me. Charter school principals are forced to use their student operational dollars to make their facility payments. As a result, money that should be going to provide services and enhance educational opportunities of students is used to pay rent on a building. SB 333 aims to do two things: provide some level of facility funding equity for charter schools serving our most underserved communities, and incentivize high-quality school operators to open in underserved areas with greatest need and the lowest-ranking district schools to provide families with high-quality options. Every child deserves a high-quality education. And when we look at states like Florida with robust school choice environments, strategically placing high-quality charter school options in the most underserved communities, we see their state rankings improve year after year after year. All parents want and deserve the best education opportunities for their children, especially the ones who are forced to send their children to one-star schools year after year, hoping for a better education and life for their children. As a simple solution to fund this vision, I have proposed an innovative plan to allow businesses to donate money to schools, making them eligible for tax credit. This is important because it does not take money from district coffers. Up to $10 million total dollars in tax credits, which is a drop in the bucket when it comes to Nevada's entire education budget. The focus dollars will go to every Title I charter school on a per pupil basis. As we as we eventually come out of this pandemic, we know our students across our state are hurting. We know families are hurting. This bill aims to provide a little help to those that need it most, our most disadvantaged students. And although our Title I public charter schools will continue to provide extra assistance students need to be successful, we want to encourage growth of high-quality school options for all disadvantaged students and disadvantaged communities. We also talk about how areas in our communities lack access and opportunities, and SB 333 works to resolve this problem. Thank you for supporting the education of our children. All students in Nevada matter and deserve equity in the choices they have for a high quality education. SB 333 is a first step to do just that for our most disadvantaged communities. And thank you so much for helping me help Nevada students and families. I'd like to turn it over now to one of our principals, Principal Gia Maraccini from Mater Academy, Northern Nevada. Thank you, Gia.
I want to thank Senator Carrie Buck for bringing forward SB 333. It really is wonderful to see some awareness around the fact that there is not facility funding for public charter schools, state public charter schools. My name's Gia Maraccini, and I am the proud principal of Mater Academy of Northern Nevada. I am located attached to the Boys and Girls Club on 9th Street in Reno, Nevada. I have 444 beautiful students who range in age from kindergarten through 8th grade. And if this bill passes, it would allow the money I have to spend on rent for my building to go back into my per pupil operational funds so that I could increase my staffing, hire more teachers and assistants, and really be able to meet the needs of my students. This year has hit us hard in education, and we are seeing daily that there are more and more needs that need to be addressed. And this amount of money that would come back to us to be able to meet those needs of our students would really impact us in a positive way. We are proud that we are a 3-star elementary school and a 5-star middle school. We work hard every day to meet the diverse needs of our students, all of which are free and reduced lunch. So this bill definitely would help every single one of my Mater babies. Thank you for supporting it.
My name's Jenny Hunt, and I'm the director of Mariposa Language and Learning Academy in Reno, Nevada. We're located off of Neal Road. We serve approximately 200 students in our building, grades preschool to 5th grade. Our demographic of students has been diverse from the inception of the school in 2002, where we provide supports and learning environment for our students who are all on free and reduced lunch, and most of our students also have English as their second language. I want to also echo our sentence of gratuity and thankfulness to Senator Buck for bringing this to light. The dollars make a difference for our students as we really meet their needs every day in our instructional environment. Along with what Gia had noted, this has been a year of hardship for our families. They already have vulnerabilities, and in an effort to really set them up for their career and college success, if we can reduce those vulnerabilities with a higher level of funding to support them and really strategically meet their needs so that we're setting them up for the future, it will make a difference. We look forward to these funds being able to be used for true educational support rather than facility funding, and really have an opportunity to have a support system for facilities along with instruction. Thank you so much, Senator Buck. We appreciate you. We're passionate about our students. They are so diverse, but they also are a part of our amazing state and the growth that we see. Thank you.
The Bible says, train up a child in the way it should go, and it should never depart from it. My name is Pastor Marlin J. I'm the pastor of Kinship Community Church in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm here to support SB 333. It's amazing to me that you came up with 333. The Bible says that the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. So those are the three that I always pay attention to. And so this is rightly dividing, that this is heavenly sent. and this is what's needed in our community and in our state. When I recently became a pastor and filled the church documents over to the state, and to the county, I said I didn't want to be a pastor of a black church. I want to be a pastor of a church. And that church is a community of people that represents all hues, all colors, and that makes sure of all families. I just want to make sure that we understand that this bill is truly important to the people that need it the most. Thank you, Senator Buck, for what you're doing, what you have done, to your staff, and how you all have put this together. This is not a Democratic nor Republican thing for me. It is definitely something that's needed for all children, of all denominations, of all spirits, and all growth, because education is the key to everything in life. You must be educated. You must have a foundation. And I think this bill will help with that. The quality of our public education should not be determined by your zip code. And a bill will help strengthen that with high quality public charter schools, as these ladies are in charge of today. Very proud to stand with them as they continue to do their work. Lastly, I believe that the church and church leaders can no longer just sit by idly, that we have to be a part of the solution and not part of the problem. I honestly believe that God calls us as pastors and faith leaders to look over his flock. And as a flock, we must help people get better and not get worse. Listen, folks, this is real talking points. This is real issues that concern families. And I think that if we have a facility-based education fund, that these ladies can hire vans and people to drive the vans and buses. We have people, we have a new way of educating. We can get. I'm asking every support from both sides in this bill, because I believe it's the best thing. May God bless the state of Nevada, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you so much for that.
Let's open it up to questions for any of the principals or Pastor Ike or myself.
Regards to contribution. So if someone or an entity is like, yeah, this bill is enacted to give X donation contribution, and then turns out it goes to the Department of Taxation, wanting, hey, I've done this. How can I help? How that funded?
So that would be funded the tax credits then.
How would those tax credits be general cost?
Would it be to teach races first? Would it be to offset those rent prices to put money back to the students? How do you see that money rolling out at each school?
So I believe in principal autonomy, and these ladies have had to sacrifice for years because charter schools do not get facility funding. And so they would be the experts for those funds. It would be divided by the per pupil. The formula, it would be divided by the per pupil funding. So however many students there are, we would make sure that it ended up for each student would get a certain percentage of the $10 million.
Has the pandemic changed the politics of charter schools, or in other words, has it made some of these funding questions more urgent?
It definitely is more urgent, and I can give you my comments, but I did address that right now. No, that's all right. I can definitely give you that, but right now it is urgent. I mean, families are searching for choice, and they want to get their kids back to school as soon as possible. And so we definitely want to give them a little more funding to be able to do what they do best, and that's open our schools, get our kids back to school and back to learning.
Is the purpose of the bill 333 to incentivize new 5-star schools, or to bring money to some of the lower star schools and hope that they can, I guess, upgrade themselves?
So it's a little of both. So it's looking at all Title I schools, all disadvantaged communities, trying to incentivize, that's the second part of the bill, trying to incentivize for those areas of need, the highest need that Pastor Henry talked about, those communities, incentivizing 5-star and high quality schools to go into those areas. And I believe that will really help incentivize them to go into those areas and really make change. And then let the parent decide. I think that a lot of times we disenfranchise parents in those communities because they don't have a choice. They only have the choice of the school that's sitting there in their community. And being able to have a choice will empower them.
I was hoping I could get a response to what the Nevada State Education Association says about this bill. If you don't mind, I can read it for you really quick.
Sure.
They go on to say they oppose the bill in the first part of their quote, but the part I'm hoping to get your reaction to is, well, quote, now under SB 333, they propose to remove more tax dollars from Nevada in order to fund a small number of charter schools with the chronic underfunding of our traditional public schools, as well as the desperate need for new revenue. We believe that this bill is wrong for Nevada. What is your response to
So
that?
my response is it's $10 million, folks. It's a great try. It's a little percentage of the budget, the overall budget. And right now with 20,000 students sitting in 1 and 2-star, the association schools, we can do better. We need to do better. We need to work together to give funding to the kids that need it most. And this is a small percentage of dollars. So
Can I step
Yes,
in on this
please.
one? Let me step in. My job is to be a problem solver. And so when somebody gives a response like that, I'm looking for you to give a solution as well. My father always taught me, son, don't come to me with a problem without coming with a solution. So if you want a solution with it, work with the legislators, work with Senator Buck on it. My mother is a teacher. She started at 40 years old without a degree whatsoever. And by the time she turned 60, she had 2 master's degrees. And now at 70, she has a doctorate degree in Christian education. So you don't come to anybody's house unless you bring a gift. Let's bring a gift, a solution. Let's find a solution. And I challenge that organization to come with solutions instead of coming with rhetoric and problems. We have the ability to work together. So we're looking at $10 million is the most, and it's capped out at. So if it's capped out at $10 million, somebody may give $250,000. Somebody may give $350,000. Somebody give $1 million. I know these ladies and every person that runs a Title I charter school will take every dollar they can in order to help facilitate that. It's not taken away from any person. It's not taken away from any other public school. But again, I challenge them to come with a solution, and let's stop talking about the problems.
Given that quote, do you think that you can convince charter skeptics and Democratic leaders to support this bill? What are the prospects?
Well, I hope so. We're always talking about helping our most disadvantaged and so when you actually put that into context, but yet still get a job done, 3-star, 5-star, still getting the job done. So why can't we come together and help prove that this works, that money works? This is a great placebo way to really focus and hope that money will show that it does work.
Now, when somebody shows up and says, "I want to give $200,000," do they have a choice of which underdeveloped school they'd like to help, or if they wanted to incentivize a new school in a certain area, maybe it was their hometown? How does that work out?
So we will just divide it by however many are applying, basically, and every student will be able to get a division of that.
Does it need to hit that 10 million for it to be dispersed?
No. Just whatever dollars that come in will go out to schools, to students.
Evenly distributed?
Yes.
What's the, I guess, the viability, or at least the status of this bill's progress?
Dropped on Tuesday. We're avidly, I know Pastor Henry's helping them. I'm trying to reach across the aisle also. Again, my focus is students and helping those disadvantaged communities.
Yeah, and I think that the principals can help to answer some of these questions too.
Yeah.
Because they work firsthand with Title I students, which essentially they're doing the same work. They're public schools as well, and they're doing more with less. So if we're talking about helping low-income communities, we have to give them the same.
And to that point, we both have been principals in a traditional school setting and in a traditional school district. And we're here because we're serving students, not because we're serving adults or systems, but we want to serve our learners. And our learners are in a really, really poignant time in their life right now where we need every resource possible to meet their instructional needs so that they can be productive members of the community in Nevada in the coming years. We're here to be a part of the solution for all learners in Nevada, not just learners in a traditional school setting or a private school setting. It doesn't matter the setting. We're here for all learners.
Senator, I have a quick question. So, I guess what I'm wondering is why charter schools? Because I think the 2008 stats from the Department of Education state that 72.5% of kids in public schools are economically disadvantaged, whereas charter schools are like around 39%. So why not fund more funding into public schools? Why specifically charter schools?
We're trying to incentivize schools, public charter schools, to open in those areas, because we have one-star schools for year after year after year after year, and they already get $1,200 more per student, and they're not making the difference that they should. Go ahead.
So my school is located on 9th Street in Reno. We're attached to the Boys and Girls Club. My families all would be zoned to the area schools that don't have a 3- and 5-star rating. So we allow a choice for families who live in an area so that they can get the very best education for their child. And I think that's where that's an important thing to note. 100% of my students are free and reduced lunch. Not one of my children come from an advantaged area. So the 39% or 38% that you're talking about in charter schools isn't what you're seeing to hold true in our charter schools. We truly are a school. Matter Academy is in one of the most impoverished areas of Reno, and we service a community that desperately is looking for a chance to give their children something better than they had. And we do it, and we do it with less money every single day. So
we need to do it. We need to do better in the charter sector with meeting the needs in those communities. And that's really another twofold purpose of this bill, is to open Success for Alls, open democracy preps, open Matter Academies, open Mariposas in these areas. That's what this bill is about.
I think Title I, explain what is Title I.
So Title I is additional federal funding that comes to schools based on your level of need. So we are Title I state public charter schools. So we are still public schools. We're just run in the charter system. And those funding sources are based on your level of need. So they look at how many students you have that have free and reduced lunch and who are second language learners, and lots of different components go into that. And we are both Title I schools with very heavily students that have a lot of different varying needs.
We also serve our 100% of our students are free and reduced lunch. Our students get breakfast, lunch, and dinner at our building. They get after-school care at our building, much like Matter. So we're serving a population that is vulnerable in many, many ways. And these dollars, the public is not aware that these dollars don't come to us equitably like the Title I school down the street. So when you say why Title I think it's just to also bring awareness to when you compare the Title I traditional school down the street to our schools, there is definitely a difference in how we're running our business, if you will, and how we're supporting our students in their learning.
Have we seen this funding model anywhere else, and has it been successful?
We haven't. I think
It's one of the country. The first, that's why it makes this bill so important.
yeah, it's an innovative way of funding it.
We have to try different things now. The traditional way of life is over. Let me make that perfectly clear. We are doing education online. We can find advertisements all day for college, and we've got to make the playing field even. The problem is we don't put a name to it. We don't talk to people. We talk about statistics. Well, I didn't grow up in an impoverished neighborhood. I didn't grow up in anything. I just graduated high school with a 2.0. I graduated college with a 2.5. I'm not the most brilliant person in the world, but I definitely care about people. And we have to have laws in place that focus on people and solutions and not come up with statistics and problems. Anything else?
Thank you all.
Thank you
Thanks
all
for
for coming.
coming.
Thank you.
It means a lot to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Sorry I was late. Okay, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So this is a way to do it in an innovative way. It starts small and then shows but they're ready for change.
Can you take my phone?
And the conference at 1 o'clock. So I guess. Alright, audio's like. So I guess. So end of conference, and this is just closing up at 1 o'clock. Let's see. Quick swirl shot. I gotta make myself dizzy.
1, 2, 3.